gives me more time to finish being fat.
Yeah?
Dude, I'm having some of those tortilla chips, but it's the one with lime.
What the fuck?
Who sneezed?
That was my grandmother. My apologies.
Bless you,
Oh,
Grandma.
bless her.
Oh, thank you, CJ.
At first, I thought that was me because I was like, did I sneeze and just not register? Mine?
Is my brain lagging right now? Was my connection okay?
Parkinson's begins.
Parkinson's begins. Is that what you just said?
It's the final boss encounter. Was this episode number 14?
Indubitably, my fine sir.
Ew! Splendid.
Splendid indeed.
Blended. I said splendid, you daft imbecile.
I said splendid as well.
Oh no! Are you going to let him talk to you like that?
I don't know, jolly good sir.
I simply won't stand for it.
So then why don't you sit down?
It's not
I'll fucking club you upside the head like Captain Caveman. Whoa.
Right, wife. Life good.
Life good.
Wife fight
Wife
back.
back. Kill wife.
Think about the wife.
Regret. Just one word, regret.
All right, you want an intro for the first time? Oh my god.
I've never.
Oh my
I've never
god.
heard before.
Adam's first intro.
History is happening.
You were here, Pog. You were here, Pog.
I was here, Pepega Pogchamp.
Witness.
Good afternoon, ladies and... Excuse me?
Come on, Chris!
Alright, yo, what's good? Ladies and gentlemanders, salamanders, fucking whatever you choose to be, you identify as, welcome. It's good to have you back for another episode 14 of our Open Absurdity, Random Chaos, Absolute Mayhem podcast that is Open Absurdity. So, today we're welcoming our special guest, Monster Girl.
Hey there.
Ew.
W intro for Adam's
For
first
real.
intro.
Witness.
Clap.
Just witnessing history.
Yeah. I think we might have to change our permanent intro to whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah. I didn't write that shit down. Fuck.
Write that down.
Down, hurry.
So, to kick shit off, gonna just ask the go-to first question for all the content creators. What
Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you? Why are you here?
Who am I? Why am I here?
Existential
Just
crisis.
start off, yeah. That's the perfect thing to start off on, man. Like,
No.
I don't know who am I. How did I get here? It's the podcast. I don't know how did I spawn in here?
I just now gained sentience.
wrong server, man.
Wrong sir. Yeah, I was playing Minecraft and then all of a sudden I just popped up in here. The crazy.
Anyway. First question. What got you into content creation? Like, what was the road leading up to it? What were you doing before? What caught your eye and made you interested in becoming a content creator? Because as far as I understand, you are a full-time content creator, right?
Here, I do content creation alongside of like helping out my mom.
Mm.
So basically, yeah, full-time
Daughter.
content creation. Yeah, thanks. So I mean, earlier in my life, when I was a wee little laddie, I was just always into like video games. My dad would always play them in front of me, and I would just watch them.
Mm-hmm.
So gaming has just been something that's been pretty involved in my life for as long as I can remember. And like I would always watch like YouTubers like Markiplier, mostly Markiplier, but I was just always watch him. Yes, the Wharf Stars.
Daddy.
Anyway,
Or, I mean,
for real, word for word, he's speaking facts.
bar for
But
bar.
I was watching him, and I was always like, man, I wish I could do this one day, where like make people laugh and all of this kind of stuff. And I believe it was in my high school years. Originally, my channel was a Minecraft and a reaction channel, but like I deleted those videos from
Shit!
existence.
That was gonna be my next question.
As soon as I was like, I watched some of the videos, I was like, ooh, this is kind of cringe, so I deleted them. But,
Well,
I even,
unbeknownst to you, take a look over here. We actually have some of those videos right now.
if that happened,
Time
I
to
would
pull out the
disappear.
bank.
I would cry. I'd be like, no, because I would dead ass like record 10 episodes of Minecraft one day and be like, yeah, this is gonna go crazy, and then only have like 2 views. I'll be like, what's going on? But,
Why am I not famous yet?
I'm hilarious.
basically, but because like in high school, at least in my year, we were one of the first years that high schoolers were allowed to have laptops.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm older, I guess. I would also watch Black Ops 2 trolling videos,
W.
and I didn't have a capture card, but I said I had this laptop, literally propped it up somewhere and like zoomed in all the way to the TV that I had at that time. And I would play Black Ops 2 Zombies and I'd just go trolling and be like, haha, guys, yeah, I'm so funny. We can't do anything because I have the part that we need to use for the transit.
Oh God,
I
you
don't-
were one of those
yeah.
people.
Yeah, I was. But I would just like watch YouTubers all the time and be like, yo, I really want to do this. And just like be funny, create content that people would like look at, laugh, and just
Yeah.
kind of just watch like how I did like after school, eat my like lunch and just watch those YouTubers, you know, comfort YouTubers.
Yeah.
I just always wanted to be one of them. So I kind of sparked a little interest.
I totally respect that, and I can very much relate to that. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's one of those things where these are people that impacted our lives. You know, a lot of people's lives growing up from early content consumption, and it's something that you feel like you wish you could have that same impact on, you know, young viewers and other gamers just starting out. You're like, I want to be that for them, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, it's so crazy. Like when we were younger, we are like, oh, we can't wait to grow up and do this and do that, do that and do this. And now we're grown up and we're like, damn, I really want to go back. Like
For real.
Yeah, you
Really?
want it, and then you're like, everyone's like, oh, don't worry, you got plenty of time. You're like, no, I want to be an adult now. And then it's like, oh, fuck, taxes. Oh, shit, IRS. Oh, no.
Adulting. Oh man.
Like-
I can't take naps whenever I want. Crazy.
You're telling me they're taking nap time out of school? What the fuck?
For real. Nah, when they took out learning cursive from schools, that was crazy to hear about.
Dude, I think the last time I was taught cursive was for 1 year, and it was like fourth
Yeah.
grade, like half of fourth grade, not even. And then it
Yeah.
was never a topic that was touched again. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the few starting, like the beginning of my schooling career, which started out in Brooklyn before we moved upstate. Fucking, yeah, we learned cursive there. It was really intense, and got up here, and everything changed. I was like, what the fuck?
What happened?
Like, what the hell? Why we just don't use this anymore? And come to find out, oh yeah, no, you still need to use it, but we're just not gonna bother. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and what really fucking blew my mind was the teachers later on in life, like late high school, that are like, oh, why do you still write print? And they're like, or for this assignment, we need you to write in full cursive. Like, what? No, I can't do
What?
that.
Like,
High school never did that.
never completed this side quest.
Yeah.
But I miss those days coming home from elementary school and running up to my room because I know PewDiePie just dropped a new Amnesia video or some shit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Nah,
fucking Fridays
cook,
with PewDiePie and shit.
Oh god, dude. Oh my god.
I would cook up some pizza rolls.
Ooh.
Watch it while watching the videos. It
Oh,
hit
yeah.
different.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that fucking early Game Grumps, man. I remember
Yeah.
watching the fuck out of
Woo!
them. They were like one of the people that originally that was like one of my plans for content creation. Like I want to be those guys. But same thing with PewDiePie and Mark, just fucking amazing inspirations, and to this day, fucking pillars of content creation success.
Oh yeah,
Some would
fucking
even say bridges.
yeah. Like PewDiePie,
Yeah.
Jacksepticeye, and Markiplier, I feel like are the forefathers of YouTube, basically.
Oh, they are.
Like,
Yeah. Very true.
like even though Mr. Beast trumps all of them in subscribers, his impact is nowhere near them, in my opinion.
In
I
terms of
agree.
like, yeah, being just absolute pioneers in the whole way that, you
I
know,
think. Go ahead. Sorry, I
oh,
was
no, it's all
interrupting
good.
you.
In the way that, gameplay and React content as a whole has been formed and molded over the years, they really just kickstarted that and fucking ran with it.
I agree. I feel like Mr. Beast is more maybe IRL entertainment, and that's I think just hitting a different audience than like us in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean,
Yeah.
like, Mr. Beast videos are definitely like very entertaining. Like, by no means are they boring, but like, there's no relatability to it. There's nothing to like attach yourself to, because it's
Like,
like,
oh yeah, I love giving away millions of dollars.
yeah,
You
like,
know what I mean?
oh
Like,
wow, this is just a casual Tuesday for me. This guy does this too, like,
For real.
as compared to like seeing Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Jacksepticeye like basically grow up with us, like, and all the different shit going on in their life that they would say, like, talk about in their videos and shit that like other people
Yeah.
could relate to. Like, it's unparalleled, the impact.
yeah, and it's also just one of those things where they also sort of acted as a coping mechanism or a mechanism for people to have an escapism moment where they can just escape watching their content and not focus on whatever the hell's going on in their lives respectively for the viewers, and be able
Yeah.
to just take that 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, and just kind of immerse themselves into that content.
Yeah. What
Tweet,
would you say?
retweet.
What would you say is your like top 3 favorite YouTubers of all time?
Ooh. Okay. I definitely I have to go with Markiplier.
Obviously,
Just like as an old time's sake.
daddy as fuck. I mean,
For real. Ooh, I would say low key, exotic layers. He like does these YouTube videos on like snakes and feeding his tarantulas and all this stuff. I don't want
Oh, yeah.
I don't want
I
that
think
stuff.
I've seen him before.
But it's so like entertaining to
Yeah.
watch.
I think
I'm
watched
just
this shit
always like,
before.
yeah, I'm just always like, oh, okay, that's what tarantulas do if they're gonna see like a cockroach, like they're just gonna eat it. I don't know. The third one, that's tough. I might have to think on that one for a little bit.
Yeah, so if just while you think on that, I think easily for me, definitely Markiplier is on top. Second would probably be close. Second would be PewDiePie. Third, it's like a tie between Game Grumps and Good Mythical Morning, but I think Good Mythical Morning might just have to win out because that was something that was a YouTube channel I watched very heavily with my mother for a long while. So that's something that like hits home, and like
Oh,
they're
that's
just
really
a channel.
cool.
Yeah. So like, and I know she still watches it. I just fucking haven't kept up with it, and it's just like, oh man, yeah. But there's like some very fond memories of all 3 of those channels. So yeah, Markiplier, PewDiePie, and then in third, Good Mythical Morning.
For the longest time, I genuinely thought that the guys in Good Mythical Morning were like in a relationship. Because I mean, like, they basically act like they do, and then I started watching them like about a year or 2 ago. I'm super late to them, but I started watching them about a year or 2 ago, and they talk about their wives, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, you guys are fucking straight. Oh, all right.
Well then, that's about as straight as
All
you
right,
can be,
cool.
I guess.
You have a family and kids. Okay. All right.
Definitely the opposite of what I was thinking.
I mean, kudos. Shit.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
winning.
I mean, it makes more sense now because I'm very homosexual with my friends. Very.
Oh yes.
The homosexual.
Yeah, homosexual as fuck. That's me. That's my
Socks
whole.
off.
That's my whole comedic fucking shtick.
That's
basically.
that's your entire tool belt. It's just like
I
It
have
doesn't
lot
work,
of-
dang
I
it.
have nothing else in my arsenal. If that doesn't make you laugh, that's all I can do.
We're out of
it's
luck.
like fuck you. And then you're just gonna walk away.
For me, I know the 3, but I just don't know who I'm gonna put it. I mean, I'll probably put PewDiePie up first because if I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure PewDiePie is the first channel I ever subbed to on YouTube.
That's fair.
I think. And not to flex or anything, but I subscribed to him before he even had 1 million. So whatever.
Real.
Number 2 would probably have to be Dashi XP, Dashi Games.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean, he mainly posts on Dashi Games now, but oh my god, dude, I loved watching that man growing up with all his Happy Wheels videos and his fucking Mario Maker series. And he's hilarious and he's so high energy. Like, I've been watching this man for like probably over a decade, and his energy has not dissipated at all. He is screaming in every video, and that's crazy.
That's commendable, respectable, and that's tough to fucking pull off.
Yeah, that level of high energy.
Yeah, it shows how passionate he is about his craft, you know?
Yeah, and a thing that, like, it's kind of his thing where, like, every single video, he doesn't have a single video on any of his channels where he's not wearing a hat or a beanie or something. So I'm pretty sure, unless I missed it, none of his subscribers have seen what his hair looks like. It is a mystery.
He's just got the friar tuck cut, so it's just like bald up top, and the hat just covers that.
He even made like a video somewhat recently with like a clickbait thumbnail and like a title like "What's under my hat?" Like, and he just talked about something completely different. But number 3 would have to either be Jacksepticeye or Filthy Frank.
Oh, dude.
Like, it's a toss-up between them.
Wow.
And it's weird to have that be a toss-up between them because they're so polar opposites of each other.
Yeah.
Like, one ate a fucking cake full of hair and toenail clippings. The other one makes Let's Plays. So
there you got Pink Eye, and then you have fucking Top of the Morning.
Yeah, basically. I guess it would probably make more sense to give Jacksepticeye more of the edge there, because there was just more to watch from Jack over the years.
Yeah, especially when you talk about, like, you know, just Let's Plays and collaborations he's done.
Yeah. But if we're talking about music,
dude.
Joe G is life, baby.
I want to marry him. I want to.
Don't go to a Joe G
concert.
concert.
Went to his concert.
Oh no.
Oh, I was second row.
Oh no.
Dude, I was fangirling. I was like, dang, he's real. He's a dude.
It's Chin Chin.
I literally screamed that in the middle of the concert. I was like, Oriwa! Chin Chin Gareski Ondeyo! And like everybody from the front row just turned around and looked at me, and I was like, my fault, fam.
My fault,
my fault, gang. That's on me.
True. I was like, bro, he's fine. He is.
And
so,
like,
yeah.
And like the transition he had from that character to his very serious music career now is like genius.
Inspirational.
I saw like this guy made like an in-depth video or whatever of like what Joji did to smoothly transition his following from the YouTube to his music, and it's like you would have never expected that from some dude that's stuffed a can of Chef Boyardee raviolis in his shirt pocket in public.
Ravioli.
Like,
he was eating raviolis in the park, slow dancing in the dark, dude. Inspirational.
That's the duality of man. Find you a man that can do both.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing with, like, yeah, he like slowly incorporated his music, like little by little, just like fucking weaning them off of the deranged fucking content and into his music, which is just fucking unbelievable. Truly genius. So, building off content, what were some of your original plans? I know you started playing Minecraft, you did some, React Andy, but what did you eventually transition to? And how did that sort of culminate to where you are now?
Well, at that time too, I was also in school. I think by the time I was getting ready to do content full time, I was like in my second year of college, and at that time, like I was mentally so down bad. It was not. It was really concerning, and my mom was like, "All right, like school obviously isn't doing it for you.
Mhm.
Let me see how this goes. I'm going to like support you with everything that I can because you supported me, blah blah blah." And so, I mean, ever since then, it's been nice. But I eventually stuck with an FPS game called Rainbow Six Siege.
Mhm.
That is where I originally started off from. I think I was probably in that community for around 5 years.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then, like, like I said, I've always played games when I was growing up. So, like, I would play Black Ops 2, Halo, Resident Evil. Like, I had a pretty big palette of games that I would play. After I was done, like, and I played Rainbow Six Siege competitively too.
Oh wow.
So eventually I just kind of got sick of it. And it was affecting my mental as well. So I switched to Valorant for 6 months, and then I eventually got into Call of Duty because I've always been like, when I was growing up in Black Ops 2, I would always see those like snipers in the lobbies that were like impressive, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that, but I can barely shoot straight with my MP7. Like, I want to do that, but I just didn't really have the time to. And when I played Call of Duty, I was like, yo, I should give it a shot since I'd never been able to before. And I actually had a lot of fun. So that kind of like rolled me to where I am now.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, typically some people are like, "Oh, I started with Call of Duty," so it's cool to hear that you began with, Six Siege, kind of wanted to go down that path. You did a little bit of Valorant, which is not too far from that sort of play style. And then, which is kind of, I'm basing that off of like CS:GO, sort of that play style, but or that gameplay. And then you moved on to Call of Duty, which is awesome. And so, speaking of the competitive scene, are you currently in the competitive scene for Call of Duty, or you want to elaborate a little bit more on that?
For Call of Duty, I do like competitive sniping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like on a team like 100 Thieves or anything like that. that would be cool, but nah. No, I just compete in like tournaments now.
Okay.
I've tried to do some red gun tourneys. Actually, Envy and I did like a 2v2 red gun tourney.
The last minute, like
was
10 minutes before the tourney started, we were like, "Oh, just found out
Let's
about
do
it,
it."
decided to hop in because we were bored."
Yeah, we did that. That was very interesting, and it was funny too because I could not red gun for the life of me, so I had to pull out a sniper. I was like, I tried, but I can't.
Nope, sorry.
Yeah, even though we got washed, that was a lot of fun to do.
It was so fun. Yeah.
We didn't win a single game, but it was a lot of fun.
We sucked. It was fun.
We sucked, but we fucking embraced it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Now, I have a kind of relatable question for you because you said that you were a part of the Rainbow community for like 5 years and it affected your mental health and you left.
Mm-hmm.
What led up to that? Because I know Rainbow has like a cesspool of a fucking community with dossing and shit, and I went through that same shit with Destiny, because that's what I grew my following off of, and it was since D1, and I think D1 came out 2014, I think.
2012, I think, or 2013. No, it's 2014. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's when I started content creation, like on Instagram, was D1, and then it was literally just Destiny with some COD sprinkled in, like here and there, all the way up until like basically this Call of Duty. Well, no, all the way up until basically Cold War, and then I was kind of on and off. But yeah, Destiny's community is a cesspool as well, and that affected my mental health, and I had to get the fuck out. So like, what was the leading up, and what was the final straw for you to finally be like, fuck this comm, I'm gone?
I'm out. Yeah. I will have to say, like, obviously 5 years ago, I was younger. I was very dumb, and I think I would always kind of like poke the bear in terms of drama. I wouldn't say I was always in the drama, but I always instigate it.
Oh,
you
okay.
know, and I would try to like troll around, be like, oh, you know, but the big part of it was I used to date a professional player for the competitive scene in Siege.
Okay.
And so, you know, leading up to that, there were some times where like I would get threats just because I was dating him.
Whoa.
I
Okay.
had my information doxed as well. So that was not fun. Um and there was eventually a league that I was playing in. It was an all women's league. And during the league itself, it was fine until like the last, I'd say 3 weeks of it. There was all this drama that was popping out of nowhere. Like somehow I was getting tossed into it because like I made a joke that didn't come across as a joke at the time, and I took responsibility for it. And it was just like a lot of like people not understanding that there's opinions, sort of
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
To give some context, like there was 2 pro league players that were in this league that was advertised to be beginner friendly in a way. And so there's other like women's tourneys or leagues as well. So I never really voiced my opinion before, but because I was kind of like cornered in a wall, they were like low key attacking me and all of this stuff. I was like, yeah, I've said before that I don't think pro league players should be in a league together, like team together in a beginner friendly league, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm afraid of you or to play even against you. I just don't see how it's effective, especially if you're not, because they were more of a troll team as well.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
not really fair, really.
Yeah, you're just expressing your opinion, and you're putting out a pretty decent, pretty important fact that like, yeah, if you're gonna call it a beginner, if you're gonna call it a beginner league, having pro fucking sweaty ass players in there won't entirely help that league succeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it can, but not, you know, yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, the only rules of the league was to be, you know, a girl. So obviously they were allowed, which is fine, you know. But I was just like, because I was trying to be friends with some of the girls that were new to the community, you know, to try to help them out. And a lot of them were saying how it was just really like, it kind of destroyed them, getting destroyed by pro league players. And it just didn't really make them feel like they had a chance. And they kind of like gave up because of it. So, you know, that went to Twitter. That whole argument somehow made it to Twitter.
Wow.
So I had some of their fanboys coming after me as well, which was crazy. And then, you know, I'm over here trying to do scrims, and scrims during that time would be like 6 hours, including maybe like a 3-hour VOD review as well. You also got to like make some strats and all that. So like my day is already busy with that. Like I've got so much on my plate at that point. Also,
you
trying
don't have
to
time
juggle
for all that bullshit.
Exactly, and trying to juggle like content creation too. And I remember it was like one of the last days of that league. My boyfriend or my ex at the time, had called me and was basically like, "Yo, we're breaking up," all of this kind of stuff. And we were like a pretty serious relationship. Like we had been together for like almost 2 years at that point.
Oh wow.
So at this point, like I was starting to hate the game because the community was just kind of like being buttholes towards me.
Yeah.
I was putting so many hours into this game. Like my boyfriend broke up with me. I was just not having it. And after that, I was just like, I'm done. I'm not.
I think you were very safe to have done that. I feel like that any normal, sane human being would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just for the mentalness. I just
you just feel like the community is attacking you over an opinion, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and like I think there was even a time, maybe even a week before that, like snapping point too. I was in a charity tournament with some of my friends at the time.
Oh, okay.
And it was a good charity tournament, and basically like because I was performing so poorly in the tournament, which it shouldn't have mattered. It's a charity tourney.
Yeah.
But in my head at that time, I was like, dude, I got to do good in this charity tourney for my ego's sake, I guess. I don't know. And like one of my friends made a comment, and like I mentally went insane, low key. Oh. And after that, I was like, okay, this is like a red flag that this game and this like environment is just not good for me. Like
Yeah.
I either need to take a break and like fix myself or just
cut it
actually
out.
there is no other or. That was just the basic point of like I need to just take a step back and fix myself.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, mental health is. We even discussed this, I think, in the previous episode. Hugely important factor of
Yeah.
content creation,
That always has
and
to
just
come
being
first.
and just gaming in general. Yeah, like you have to just not let that shit fucking take over, because we've seen the horrible fucking consequences.
Oh,
So they're very. But it's awesome to see that you're obviously in a better spot now.
Yeah.
And you're living life and you're enjoying the content you're making now. So going forward, speaking of content, I know this has been the going theme here. Uh, what are some plans for the future? Either new content you're really excited about producing, or maybe even new avenues of content creation you're thinking about pursuing.
that is a very good question. I would say in the future, like I've kind of talked about it briefly before in terms of like on Twitter and social media.
Yeah.
But I really would like to like explore the world of like IRL things. Because like I've always
okay.
been more into like gaming and all that kind of stuff. On the side, like of course I have another channel, MGT, that's more of like a drama or drama coverage channel. But
Drama alert nation.
Continuing
it's
the
your-
instigations. You know?
But I would like to do more content towards like beauty and makeup kind of a thing, or like just like vlogging IRL stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always seen like other people do that, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like just to like broaden the horizons in a sense.
MG's
definitely
gonna
get
become the
that.
next Casey Neistat.
Oh gosh.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's nice to. I've definitely, and I'm sure other content creators can agree, have had thoughts about doing more. Beyond just the gaming aspect of things, like beyond just gaming, doing other content. I've dabbled with the idea of unboxing, reviews, as you said, IRL streams of just nonsense or just having fun, just doing whatever. So that's awesome though, and I really do hope that we might see some of that content come forward.
I'm hoping. I mean, shoot, I might do mukbangs too.
Oh,
Because I do love me some food, and I do love to talk.
My two favorite things. Fucking sucking the fingers while trying to tell a story.
Fucking close up.
So, like I was saying,
Don't mind all this wing sauce on my fingers, by the way.
Oh
my
still
God,
got
is
some
there
more blue
croissants?
cheese. They forgot the pickles.
How dare they?
Man, fuck what?
You see this Yelp review? It was from me.
I
You're
get
getting
that.
1 star. 1. But yeah, that's definitely going back to the rainbow thing. That's definitely good that you got out of that environment, and it obviously was for the better, because I would assume you're in a much better mental place now in the COD-COM.
No, it's worse,
opposed
actually.
to, as opposed to Rainbow.
Like,
But,
no.
Yeah,
It's going worse.
it that's cringe as shit. The shit you went through in
Yeah.
for Rainbow.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I just don't understand why communities are like that. Like at the end of the day, it's a video game. Like with D2, like Destiny 1 was amazing. I loved that game. All the way, well, the end of it could have been better. But when Destiny 2 came out, like I was still making content on it or whatever. I was still playing with my friends and doing trials and shit like that. And how I grew my following was doing a thing called Trials of Osiris carries, where I would find whoever hasn't been to the lighthouse before, which is basically the end game content. Like you have to win 7 games in a row without losing in this highly competitive end game PvP mode. So I would always go on LFG or just look at different forums and shit like that, offering my help to anybody who's never been there before for free, because everyone would charge for that, and at the time I thought that was fucking weird. Like everyone's first time should be free because it's an experience of the game that a lot of people don't get to have. So that's what about 90% of my following came from. And I was doing that like every weekend, like Friday to Sunday, 8+ hour streams of constant nonstop free carries. And it started getting to a point where I would start be getting hit offline while just about to win a trials game so that the other team didn't lose. Like they would hit me off, or
God.
I've had people threaten to like leak my address and shit like that over trials, and
Jesus Christ,
like different shit like that, and all because they were about to lose a video game or something pertaining to that. And I always thought that shit was so fucking like cringe, dude. Like
it's lame.
It's a video game, dog. Like take your L and move on. Like
for real.
And there was a huge thing that kind of tilted me over the edge when it came to the Destiny community and made me want to leave when I started seeing it happen, was this thing called getting ran. So on Instagram, there was like a group of these DOSers that were just like best friends with each other and just found so much fun in hitting people off or exposing people addresses or like threatening them just for the fuck of it. And what they would do is they would threaten either leaking your address or somehow getting into your bank, because they could get into your bank statements or your bank account and whatnot and like take your money and
like
shit
scare
like that.
Yeah.
So they would threaten that, or you would have to basically publicly humiliate yourself by posting a video on either your Instagram story or just as an Instagram post of writing all the people's gamer tags and Instagram handles in Sharpie on your body, shirtless, and post it and be like, I was ran by such and such and such and such, and do whatever the fuck they wanted you to do in that video and post it. And like, I saw that shit happening, and it was fairly often that it was happening. I was like, dude, this is too far. Like, this shit really is weird as fuck. Like,
that's straight up fucking harassment.
Yeah. And it was just that for like a year and a half, 2 years, and it just got to the point where Destiny 2's multiplayer was just getting more and more terrible because Bungie was making more and more nerfs to stupid things and buffing the things that were already OP and like making the PvP scene basically unplayable, and they're still doing it to this day. Like, and it was just killing my mental, dude. Like, dude, especially since I was trying to do them for free and not charging people for my mental torture.
Like you're like, oh, you gotta sub this, that. Like, no, you're just literally like, okay, who wants to fucking get carried?
And like, it was fine when the game was still fun, but like once it got to that point, that was around when Cold War was coming out and like the beta dropped for it, and by that point I hadn't played COD since like World War II or Black Ops 4. Like, those are the last two CODs I really played. So when I saw Cold War was coming out, it was another Treyarch game. It was a Black Ops game. Like, I was excited for it. I played the beta, and I was even more excited for it because snipers in the beta were actually good. Like, and so I was already planning on basically quitting Destiny once Cold War dropped, but then Cold War dropped, and snipers were dog shit. But I still grinded it out and did all the camo challenges and shit, and then I eventually came back to Destiny to try and give it a second shot once I was bored of Cold War. That didn't work out because it was just right back down the rabbit hole all over again. So I went back to Cold War, and then I was playing fucking other games and Minecraft and Resident Evil and whatever the fuck else. And when I left the Destiny community, because I made the mistake of having that be like
your main
source of my content and what all the people that followed me for, my streams tanked, my views tanked, everything tanked, and that did nothing but like add to the mental problem because I was like, fuck, is this like, is there
Yeah,
even
what
a
the fuck's
point
wrong
to
with
me
me? Yeah.
continuing this if I'm not going to play Destiny? Like, I do not want to play Destiny anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a thing I was struggling with for a while, and then this Call of Duty came out, and Slight had me joining his tourney, which was the first ever like sniping tourney I'd ever been a
Yup.
part of,
I
and
remember that.
I met a bunch of cool people through that.
Mhm.
That's how I met MG afterwards, through Slight and fucking basically everyone I talk to on Twitter now. So
Yeah.
like the CODCOM is definitely a lot better than Destiny, but you
Oh,
couldn't go
fucking sure,
anywhere
man.
but up, really. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't been hit off one time of COD, so we're good.
Yeah.
We're doing
That's-
pretty good. We're doing better.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can relate. Fucking, I remember when I first started getting a lot of traction on Twitch was playing fucking Balloons Tower Defense 6 of all things, and yeah, that in a nutshell was just became fucking grueling, because like anyone ever wanted to do was like, oh, let's just all play fucking cubism, like this like brain dead fucking little map, and I'm like, oh my god. And then again, it just got to that point where I was just like, I gotta change something, otherwise I'm gonna go mentally fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's just, and like you said, it's like one of those things you start to switch from the content people liked a lot and viewed a lot, and you're like, oh well, now what the hell am I doing? Like, what, did I make a mistake? Did I fuck up? And you begin to internalize all those feelings, and it's not fun.
It
But
really is not.
You get to a point where you're looking at all that shit compared to like the views and traction you were gaining before, and like, damn,
oh yeah,
am I gonna be able to like scrape this back together? Or, like,
Yeah.
is this even worth the effort? Like, I thought all these people were here for me. Like,
yeah,
Yeah. They're
But-
here for the game, I guess.
and that's one piece of advice I feel is very important, and I tell my friends that are trying to get into streaming and shit like that, like, don't, even if it is your favorite game right now, it's not going to be your favorite game forever. Anything can happen. And don't, if you want to get this for a full time and be able to support yourself and not hate your life, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, play other
True.
games, stream other games, whatever other games you're interested in. Don't just pull everything from one game. Like, you can have something be your main game, yes, but don't have that be the only game that you're doing or the only piece of content you're doing, because it's just going to hurt you in the end when that eventually becomes a boring game to you
Or
whatever
obsolete.
other reason. Yeah.
and it's just also don't be afraid to try new things. I feel like that's easier said than done for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
it doesn't ever hurt to just say, fuck it, I'm gonna try this game, And if you don't like it, you don't like it, but never know.
Because when you think about it, that's literally what probably got you into your main game that you love so much. That fuck it,
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. Like,
Yeah.
because
You never know.
I remember I saw my brother playing the fucking beta for Destiny 1, and I originally thought that game looked weird as shit. And like, I don't know why you're playing this. This does not look like a fun time. But then Taken King came out, and I played it, and I was like, okay. I guess I could give this a
I
shot.
was wrong, I guess.
What's the fucking worst that could happen? Fast forward.
Yeah. All the trauma.
Yeah.
Oh man, like, I miss the old days of gaming. Like,
They were, yeah.
back when you would find somebody that was really good in your lobby, and instead of texting them being like, oh, you're a fucking cheater, you're no skill piece of shit, or you would text
You're a
them being
freaking
like,
virgin,
yo,
you touch
yeah,
grass.
touch
Yeah.
grass, you're a virgin. Like, you would
Yeah.
text them and be like, yo, you're fucking crazy, like, and you would try to add them, and you would be friends, and like, I miss that.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that.
Yeah. Everyone
I
kind of
think it's-
became ego Andes.
Yeah.
It's the evolution of gamers. Like every single gamer wants to be better, kind of a thing. So then, like, because I feel like gaming back then was more for like a comfort sort of a thing, but nowadays, like, people are becoming so much more competitive when it comes to gaming that it's kind of killed like the casual, just for fun kind of.
Yeah. And the prospect of turning that into a full-blown career, even though it's such a difficult thing to do, is just it became so real to a lot of people, at least in their minds, And they're like, oh, that means if I fucking become a sweaty little piece of shit, then I'm gonna be a millionaire. It's like, no,
Yeah.
you're just gonna be a dickhead, you know? It's like, I hate to break it to you, pal, but
You're just gonna be an asshole.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, people like that. That's content apparently, but like, you gotta also get lucky with that too. It's like,
Very true. Well, like even nowadays, like I said before, like when the gaming scene was more of a casual one, it was easier to blow up as a skillful
Yeah.
player because that just wasn't the meta. But
Nope.
nowadays you can't be just like a skillful player. I mean, unless if you're like getting paid by like Pro League and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, you
Yeah.
can. But like most of the time now you really do need to have your personality show through
Yeah.
and don't be a dickhead, you know?
And you're not just
There's a
playing
lot
one
more.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the good old days, man. The gold. I feel like that was just
The golden age before
Yes.
the
Yeah.
darkness came.
Because I mean, like when you think about it, back then, like, and that's probably why gaming nowadays is like we get bored quickly and like nothing really satiates that drive for serotonin, like, because back then we had the golden games like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, Halo.
It was
and
also fresh too.
yeah, it was fresh, content was good, and even on the non-gaming side, we had goated TV shows like Drake and Josh, iCarly,
Yeah.
fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog, like
Oh yeah.
there
Hannah
was-
Montana.
yeah, like there everywhere we went, there was cool
Innovation.
shit. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was good shit everywhere. But nowadays it's like, what the fuck?
It feels like
Yeah.
every AAA title now, there's just this monopoly on the market, and all they've been doing is copying and pasting the same fucking recipes, either
Mhm.
off of each other or off their previous titles. And it's like, and unfortunately, there's still people buying into it, you know. So until they lose money or they're like, oh shit, this is not profitable anymore, there's no real innovation, there's no change, and it's kind of sucky. But
Yeah.
you know,
And it sucks
Well-
how many corporations nowadays, how many billion-dollar corporations just care about money and not like
Yep.
their community at all.
they
Like-
forget about their grassroots.
Yeah, like like the fucking and this is probably like beating a dead horse at
Yeah.
this point, but fucking this new Call of Duty client that was supposed to come out called SM2.
Oh yeah.
This was going to be like the golden age of fucking COD, dude. Like it
Oh,
was gonna
okay.
have all the best guns from every COD, all the best maps, all the best game modes, progression, brand new progression, like, and it was gonna all be for free. Everything was free. The game was gonna be free. No microtransactions. Nothing. A non-profit organization was making this game, and after 2 years of developing the game, Activision wanted to
like,
then
psych.
send them a cease and desist, and they had to stop all operations permanently. And now that game is not going to happen. But why wait 2 years?
For real.
Like, they weren't making any money off of this. This was a small group of people that were just volunteering their free time to make the game.
Yeah, they just wanted to let them put in all those hours and then crush them. That's really what it is, just to crush their hope and make sure that it's fucked, but that's just how evil they get with that kind of shit.
Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
multi-billion-dollar corporation that's scared of a non-profit. Like,
But that just goes to show like how fragile the hold on the market how fragile of a hold they have on the market. And eventually if they don't wake up and don't start to change, it's not going to end well.
I was
But-
gonna say, if you actually listen to your community and do what they want, or like, you know, try to implement some of the things that they're talking about, you'll probably make more money than just ignoring them.
Yeah.
and doing what
Like,
y'all want to do. Like,
It's not a foreign concept.
it's
Listening to your
simple.
customer basis? No.
Nah.
the people that are putting food on your tables. Like,
The ones that are buying your games?
never.
Yeah, no, and yeah, it just sucks. But you know, I don't know.
It just seems like more and more these big companies like Bungie, like Tom Clancy, like fucking Activision, and all them, like
Ubisoft.
they and Microsoft, yeah, they're starting to care more and more about just the money and the income rather than their consumers' happiness. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's crazy to the point where like we're all so deprived that when games come out like X Defiant or Combat, whatever the fuck it was called on PC, like with
Oh, the Combat
communities that
Strike.
with communities that actually, or devs that listen to the community and make what we've been begging for, and everyone's so surprised when that game blows up out of nowhere and is like the biggest thing out right now
Yeah.
because like they're doing the simple shit the multi-billion-dollar companies aren't. Like,
Well,
The
give
multi-billion-
X Defiant a couple, a couple months because they're ran by Ubisoft. So
yeah, that's
we'll
a good point.
see.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
that is fair. So speaking on, kind of going away from the whole doom and gloom of the gaming market. So MG,
Hmm.
what are some of the milestones that you? This is about kind of a two-parter. What are some milestones you've hit that you're very proud of, either current or prior, whichever? And what are some milestones you'd like to hit going forward?
Um, I'll
Could be
do
anything.
I'll do two of each. One before when I was in the Siege community.
Hmm.
My mom and I actually went to this invitationals. So it's out in Canada. It's like all the best teams in the world go and meet and they play at this land kind of a thing.
Oh,
And I think it's like over a course of a week, I think. So that in itself was so fun.
Mhm.
But I think one of the proud moments that I've had just like as a content creator was like how many people came up to me and were like, "Hey, you're a monster, right? Like I enjoy watching your content." Like some of them were asking for like my autographs and trying to take pictures too. I was like,
That's
"Yo, this
fucking
is
awesome.
crazy." So that was probably one of them. And then, I left the scene, but I mean, I'm still going to always have that memory as like a cherished
yeah,
one,
nothing can take that away from you.
Exactly.
I can't
And
wait for
then-
that.
That's the dream right there. Yeah.
For real, for real.
Closest I've
Andy,
gotten
when
is
am I
a-
gonna get your autograph, bro? Come on.
closest I've gotten is just like a random message whenever I decide to go back to D2 when I'm dreadfully bored by somebody being like, "Oh my god, holy shit, hi!
It's
Like,
him.
been following you for so long. Like you're the
Finally
goat," shit like
back.
that. Like it warms my heart to see those messages, but I can't believe the wide gap in comparisons between that happening in person to a text.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that even that point was like one of the reasons because my mom was with me at this invitationals and
Mhm.
she saw it happen and go down and she was like, wow, like this can actually be a career path for you. Like it was like one of those moments of reality where like you see it happen in real life. She was like, yeah, I'm 100% supporting what you want to do with this. So I mean, it was pretty nice. And then
That's wholesome.
it really was. It made me smile for a while. And then I'd say recently just hitting 1K on YouTube. I've been so inconsistent with YouTube. I'm not
We all
gonna
have.
lie.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about it.
Just finally hitting it was like, wow, I could do it. So it's kind of put me back into a grinding mindset. At the same time, I've been on and off with that just because like I've been having like IRL problems and the PC issues, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it kind
But
of sucks when the universe just keeps throwing all these fucking oddballs at you.
for real. But regardless of that, like I'm excited to see what potential lies in the future. In the future, some of the things I would like to do, like I've always said this, I will always say this, I want to make sure, like, that I am able to basically like pay my mom back for supporting me throughout these years, Like I
Yeah.
want to get her a house, I want to get her a car if she needs it, like all this kind of stuff. Like that is
Yeah.
like I want to pay her back and I want to pay like other family members who have supported me back because like it's
know.
like such a risky career, I guess, in
Yeah,
a
it's
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
It's
time and energy,
exactly. And especially where like back then when they were older or younger.
Whoa.
When they went back in
like-
time.
blast from the past. But back then, like this kind of a thing, or like entertainment, YouTube being a content creator was just not a thing for them.
Yeah.
It's just it just
TV
wasn't.
fame is like the closest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then them seeing the passion that I have for this versus like how I was when I was in school and all of that stuff. Like my mom just taking that risk and taking that leap of faith towards me and my career just speaks so much to me, and I can't ever express like enough gratitude towards that. I mean, other smaller goals I would like. I mean, I would love to live in a content house in the future. I
That'd
feel
be
like that
so
would be
fire.
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's been a
that'd be
dream since
fun.
I saw the fucking New York Phase house, man.
For real. I actually, when it was with my ex, I went to his team house, and their team house is literally next to, I think it's Jake Paul's
What the
graffiti
fuck?
house. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
across the street. So like you go into the backyard and you see it, and I was like, bro, what? This is how nice it is. Like, wow. But yeah,
Okay.
I want to. The biggest thing is just paying back like family members, friends that have just supported me through thick and thin.
Yeah, it's like not forgetting the people who have been the real ones, the ones that were there from the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome though. I think a lot of people can relate to that, and it's great. It really is. It's important to not forget those who honestly were the
roots.
backbone.
Yeah. Because I mean, if it wasn't for them, like I feel like a lot of people wouldn't keep going. And I feel like that's what content creation is. It's like it's not like a marathon. Or it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yes.
But yeah.
Not a marathon. You gotta run your ass off real fast, or you're gonna die. Chris, don't worry. If I hit the Powerball, I'll buy that house.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Powerball.
Or your stonks go huge and go to the moon.
Oh, that's. I mean, like if Pepe goes to the moon, then
Or like if a rich uncle all of a sudden turns up
I'll
out
just
of
get
nowhere.
someone's estate. Yeah.
The Prince of Nigeria emails me again.
Dude, I'm waiting on that email.
For real.
Sent him my SSN. I sent him all my information. I still hasn't gotten
Just
back to me.
haven't heard. He ghosted me.
And it's
Left me
weird.
in the
like,
dust here.
I keep seeing money leave my account. Like, I don't remember.
I know
spending
he's
that.
buying those diamond deposits.
Yeah. He's gonna pay me back eventually.
Bro, my stonks are gonna go crazy. But I think that's gonna be a good spot to leave this episode off. Thanks again, MG, for coming to this episode with us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Very fun.
Oh, it's been a
very
fucking
fun.
pleasure.
Is there anything you want to shout out? Because this is a thing for the ending of episodes that I've been forgetting to do for the last like, 4 episodes, dog.
I'm glad that it was remembered. First, I want to pull back my last YouTuber that I enjoy.
Oh
Vanos.
yeah. Oh,
Vanos, I have to say,
Ah,
like the
yes.
Vanos crew
The
in general,
goat.
Oh my
mostly
God.
like H2O Delirious, Vanos, Wildcat.
the
Not
fucking
Minnie the Ladder
goats,
on record.
baby.
Dude,
We'll
the
throw
fucking
them
to the
classics.
side.
I still remember getting so excited when I saw all of them post their face reveals for the first time.
Yep.
Like Vanos's face reveals, like no fucking
my
way
God.
he looks like that. That's a buff
Yeah.
ass dude.
Yeah.
And then you see Wildcat, just some random fucking teenager in his fucking room, nerdy glasses.
Oh my
Still
God.
waiting for Deliriouses, low key.
Yeah, dude, fuck.
Just always gonna be faceless. But
Dude. Oh, I love that crew so much. Oh, my
same
God.
here. Same here. Shout out to my mom. For
W
real,
mom.
for real. Even though
W
I'm
mom.
pretty sure this is supposed to be about my socials, but I won't.
Yeah.
Shout out to mom.
No, yeah.
Shout out to fam. Shout out to Adam and Chris. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to
Oh.
God. God bless. And yeah.
W, Lord and Savior.
For real, for
W,
real?
fucking the Messiah.
But thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode. We love each and every one of you individually so damn much. You're all handsome, beautiful, gorgeous, cute, whatever the fuck else.
Fucking
Massive wings.
W
big ass,
Riz.
W Riz, Riz Lords, Rizzlers. all that
Rizzlers.
shit.
He rizzed you guys so much that you're gonna leave a like on the video, and you're gonna subscribe and turn notifications on and watch the
Yeah.
next episode.
On God. On God,
And-
you should do
and-
exactly
and-
what she said.
Yeah, no cap on a stack for real.
For real.
On jaw, bro. On jaw.
I put that on God, okay, and His plan.
So do we still want to do a little inspirational quote to seal it off?
Yes.
Yes. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. John F. Kennedy.
Mm,
Pretty mind-blowing
Stonks.
statement right there. On God.
that had me thinking.
Um,
Wait.
All right, fuck me, I guess. You know what? Good night.
Oh my God. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in this episode. Don't forget to download us on Spotify if you're listening to us on there, and do everything MG told you to if you're listening to us on YouTube, because
Do it now or 1,000 years of bad luck.
you didn't hear this from me. I don't make up the rules. This is just straight facts, scientifically proven, where if you do all the shit that we just told you to do, including following our socials, you will get bitches, okay? You will.
Facts.
You will.
Yep.
You will
I will
instantly
find 'em.
have all the Riz in the world, and you will be like
Yep.
the next John Stamos or some shit. I don't know. But love y'all. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.